Thank you, Chairman Stabenow. Ms. Moffitt, it's nice to see you again today. Welcome. I enjoyed the conversation that we had yesterday, and so pleased that you're here today. I've been hearing, we talked about this a little bit, I've been hearing from many cattle producers in Nebraska about the need to increase transparency and improve our cattle markets. And this is why I've introduced legislation to bring transparency to cattle markets and to provide our cattle ranchers with a fair market. Last week, President Biden issued an executive order that requires USDA to issue a report to the White House within 180 days that would include suggestions on how to enhance price discovery, increase transparency, and improve the functioning of cattle and other livestock markets. If confirmed, you would oversee the Agricultural Marketing Service, which will likely play a role in developing these recommendations, given their responsibility for livestock price reporting. Do you believe that greater transparency is needed in our cattle markets?
Yeah, thank you so much, Senator Fischer. And I appreciated our conversation yesterday. I heard your questions yesterday about transparency. I certainly saw the announcements last Friday on a myriad of things, a whole package of things to really support and build a much more robust and resilient meat and poultry system. So I know that the importance of the Packers and Stockyard Act and how important that is to producers. I've heard throughout this process how important it is, how much ranchers are getting squeezed. We've talked, and I know we've heard about the difference in market prices and that consumers are paying than cattle ranchers are getting, and I understand that squeeze that the ranchers are getting. I know that it is important to ensure that the food system and the meat system is fair and competitive, and look forward to exploring transparency, price discovery, local and regional processing capacity, supporting a system where farmers and ranchers have choices and where consumers have choices as well.
Will you commit that you will engage with the committee, not only on the recommendations that are sent to the White House, but also to work with Congress on legislative solutions like what I have put forward?
Yes, Senator Fischer, I know how important it is to continually work with, in our case, with our state legislature in providing technical assistance on pending legislation, and then of course partnering on enacting any legislation that might be approved. So I know the value of working with our legislature. I know the value that would be should I be in this position to work with Congress as well in this process.
Thank you. We've touched on this a little bit during your hearing about the USDA's Packers and Stockyards division, and that's also going to fall under your leadership if you're confirmed. The Biden administration has directed USDA to consider rulemaking to strengthen the Packers and Stockyards Act. Can you discuss what your view as the role of the Packers and Stockyards Act? What is that role, and how will the proposed rule changes help fulfill that role?
Thank you, Secretary Fischer. And so wild cattle is the fourth largest industry in California. I don't have firsthand work yet on the marketplace for the cattle industry, but I know how important it is. I know the complexity in it. I heard the announcement last week, and should I have the opportunity to be confirmed, I look forward to meeting with Secretary Vilsack, understanding his vision, understanding what the directive is in the executive order, and working to do all that I can to support that.
And again, I hope you'll pull in stakeholders from across the country to be able to see the diversity that we have in different areas of the country in this industry.
Absolutely.
Great. For more than 25 years, the FDA has taken a one-size-fits-all approach to the U.S. animal biotech applications. And in those 25 years, only 2 agricultural innovations have received regulatory approval, both of which took over a decade. We currently don't have an efficient pathway towards other important innovation, such as disease-resistant livestock or ruminant animals that emit fewer emissions. Last year, the USDA published an advance notice of proposed rulemaking and ANRP, suggesting it might propose regulations to develop a path at the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service and the Food Safety Inspection Service for agricultural animals. This potential rulemaking has been included in the Biden administration's unified regulatory agenda several weeks ago. If confirmed, will you commit to meeting with stakeholders about the prospects of furthering this rulemaking at USDA?
Yeah, Senator Fischer, it's one of the things that I enjoy most about the job that I have now is really hearing from stakeholders, hearing from as a producer, as a former producer myself. I know how important it is to hear from the people on the ground, working the land and implementing these regulations, to hear what are the best ideas that they have and what are the ideas that they have, so that we can make sure that we're factoring all of that in the work that I do in my current job. And should I have the opportunity to be confirmed, I will continue to do that and meet with stakeholders throughout the nation.
Thank you, Ms. Moffitt. I appreciate the background that you will bring to this position, and I appreciate your sincerity in pledging to constantly work with stakeholders on any number of issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And